is Harry Lennix, and I play Draco in the film The Interview.
It is an interview, Ivan.
Well, I came to talk.
Today you talk with your fist.
I play an arms dealer who is working in conjunction with the CIA and a couple of other organizations around the world to more or less mitigate the potential dangers of the bad weapons getting into the wrong hands.
You want to run with wolves, huh?
Working with Tomm Voss, who plays Ivan in the film The Interview, was quite pleasant. He's a very, very nice man. Obviously, he's in magnificent condition. He's a man who speaks very, very many languages, so he's an international fellow, and I think that he has a lot of potential to become the next big international action star. There's nothing that any of the guys that we now know who are big international stars in this generation that Tomm does not have. He's handsome, he's eager, he has good fighting skills, he's a good actor. He has international experience, so he is in a lot of ways a lot like the character that he plays. So it was really very pleasant. I'm glad that I met him, and I hope to work with him in the sequel to The Interview.
You know who sent me, right?
I don't like surprises. You come highly recommended from a man who I've never known to recommend anyone.
I really very much enjoyed working with Tomm, and I think that me being a tall, somewhat older guy, black obviously, with some experience on the international scene myself, and Tomm being like a perfect, almost a Nordic type with his skills, I think there was a really cool balance. There's a fellow in the film by the name of Razor who you will see he's hard to miss. He is a massive guy, one of the nicest men that you will ever meet. Again, a good actor, obviously somebody who's in tip-top condition, somebody with a lot of experience. He should have been, in my opinion, and still possibly could be, in the WWE. Somebody could have a career in any kind of athletics. So he is a terrific guy, and I hope that I get the chance to work with him again soon.
Drop it! Now!
Giovanni Zelko, who is the writer and director of The Interview, is, I think, the latest in a long line of great Renaissance men. He's somebody that has technical skill, he has knowledge about electronics, he works as an electrician from time to time, he knows the genres that he writes about exceedingly well. He's somebody who has a great interest in classical literature, so his ability to bring the classical narrative to a popular film, and even an action film like The Interview, I think is very, very useful. It's an unusual list of skills that he has. He went to film school, obviously. He's quite an artist, quite a writer, but he also has a great appreciation for the more or less eternal themes that make these movies, and make film in particular the perfect medium to capture myth. And I think that he has managed to do that very, very well in all of the work of his that I've seen. And this is certainly no exception.
So, great. Harry, we're going to have you, doors open. Doors can start open. Doors open, you're out standing by the door, I'll say action, and you'll start walking, just walk to position. That's the shot. And then, if you feel the camera still moving, just start your dialogue.
Okay,
Okay?
right on.
So, basically run your dialogue from when you land.
Whenever you're working on a film that is shot outside, and obviously if you looked at the trailer for the film The Interview, you'll see that it's an exterior. It's a beautiful location. It was on a dried up lake bed. But you have to start obviously first thing in the morning. You have to wait for a certain amount of sunlight and all of these other technical aspects so that you can shoot and have it be useful and usable. But then, of course, because we were shooting in the winter, the day is short. So time was certainly a major player in the day. But we managed, because there were 3 or 4 cameras at any given time, we managed to cover an extraordinary amount and to knock off a whole bunch of setups. Having directed a short myself, I can tell you that the number of setups that we were able to accomplish that day was extraordinary. But that's what happens when you have a director who knows what he wants. Giovanni worked out the entire shooting schedule that day. He storyboarded it all. He had notes to himself. He was able to communicate these ideas to make the day go efficiently. And I think the mood on the set was at once both sped up. We had to. The time was of the essence, so we were a little bit under the gun, or a lot under the gun. But it was also cordial, and it was a lot of camaraderie. We were all there as a team, and I think that we managed to pull off something pretty cool. The film first came to my attention when I was on the set of a show called Dollhouse, which I work on at Fox. And Giovanni Zelko, the writer-director, and I, for whatever reason, had occasion one day to say ciao to each other, and thus began a conversation in Italian. And I was floored to find someone who spoke as beautifully and fluently as Giovanni. And over the course of time, we struck up a friendship, and I think as that develops, as friendships develop, you learn more and more about somebody. I learned that he had a first-rate knowledge of film history, of film itself, the technical aspects of what goes into making effective filmmaking.
Is adding a little velocity to your move. Sure. So if you can move physically faster at the car, so we break across a little faster, a little bit, it'll give it more movement.
It just so happened that Giovanni was in talks with Tomm Voss about a project, a vehicle, if you will, that would highlight, his best talents. And Giovanni had written this character, Draco, who was a fascinating and mysterious figure.
You come highly recommended from a man who I've never known to recommend anyone.
I think having Giovanni, who has a lot of experience with travel, his parents are from Europe, he himself has lived in very many places, speaks Italian beautifully, a couple of things. So we've got somebody who has both a sense of what it is to be an American and also a sense of what it is to be a citizen of the world. And that's a pretty excellent list of credits and assets. So I don't think we can do anything but succeed on that level.
These are 4 of my best men here. I don't expect you or anyone to beat all of them at one time. I just want to see if you can survive them, if you can take a beating.
Over the course of time of getting to know each other, we decided pretty early on and very seriously that we wanted to be involved as mutual filmmakers and friends.
This should be good. Begin.
I'm looking forward to having just a great and intelligent action movie, because we don't always get it. I think we need more work, more films like Taken and the Luc Besson films in general. And I think that this is a different American narrative of it. It's there's a sensibility that goes along with making film, and I think that it's now time for us to be able to join the ranks of the international filmmakers of action film and so forth. So this has got a lot of potential, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm proud to be.
Looks like you got a job, Ivan.